or individuals that carve their own niche in their own way, create their own realities. You see people as examples of doing exactly what they want to do, creating their own realities, carving their own niche and creating a better world. Collectively that gets stronger and stronger, and it becomes a message of, you know, sort of love.
Goa. It went commercial, and now it's just gone fetid like an old cheese that's been left too long in a cupboard. The spirit is gone, the blue rinse tourists have come in, the flea markets exploded into Regent Street. I suggest to everybody, find new pastures, the world is out there.
Back in the 60s, we had the inspiration of Marshall McLuhan and his idea of the global village. That was what we were aiming for. We could see it coming, but now we live in it.
Our time is a time for crossing barriers, for erasing old categories, for probing around.
Hermann Hesse wrote about a future society in which people would play a crystal bead game, in which all of the different media, all the different arts and sciences would come together. And we're starting to see those kinds of tapestries being woven on the web.
The other side of it is, of course, globalization.
The small group, largely of men, who are controlling the vast majority of the world's resources, are holding on as much as they possibly can do.
So I think the case is not to complain, but more to try and intervene by communications, by showing people other ways of living their lives and doing things that are more fun, that are more positive from everyone's point of view, rather than just saying this is absolutely awful, you must change. These people say to me, look at this. This is a really interesting way of doing something. Would you like to try it? I'll show you how it all works. Then that's a totally other way of delivering actually the same message, which is, why don't you change your behaviour and try doing it like this for a bit?
You have to ask yourself the question, why are all these wars happening? Why is there BSE? Why is there genetically modified food?
You have to act in whatever way you can see, like whether it's by making a video, or whether it's by taking direct action on the streets. If you have a point of view that someone else is doing something that may be dangerous to you, it's your responsibility in a modern society to get that point of view heard.
Eden farming and culture. Happy! Happy tribal homes. Working and sharing to create heaven on earth with full help from our government. To have their tear-stained faces kissed with generosity, surrounding them with the grace of flower-decked rainbows instead of hell's droning bombers. Butterflies to dazzle their learning eyes. This is not idealistic. This is common sense.
Reunite the stones of our ancestors. Solar solstice. We come together. Reunite the stones of our ancestors. Solar solstice. We come together. Reunite the stones of our ancestors. Celebrate the summer. We come together. Reunite the stones of our ancestors. Solar solstice. We come together. Reunite the stones of our ancestors.
This piece is about 10 years old. It's called Theologue, the union of human and divine consciousness, weaving the fabric of space and time in which the self and its surroundings are embedded. That's the subtitle of it, rather long. And what I try to do in the work is to show the interpenetration between the physical dimensions and the more metaphysical dimensions. And in the bodies, it shows up as the acupuncture meridians and points and chakras and auras and halos and things like that. This particular painting is one of my favorites because it came from an experience that I had some time ago. It was a high-dose LSD experience, and I was wearing a blindfold and seated in a lotus posture. And I was staring into this, it was a device I invented called the Mindfold. It's just like a light-type blindfold with space to open your eyes. So you look into total darkness. But as, you know, somehow I was seeing an electric grid that was like all along the horizon. It was just this incredible kind of perspective grid. And it seemed that I was projecting this at the same time that I was like seeing it outside, but I was in my head, so it was very confusing, but I felt like, well, this is the loop of space and time. This is like when you dream, you're dreaming in space. And so you're always creating space. Somehow our mind is creating the space that we're surrounded by. So how to visualize that, it was solved by putting this kind of seated Buddha here and having the horizon line, the vanishing point of the horizon line of perspective, be synonymous with the cone of perception that's spreading out. So this is how this thing, it's appearing to project the space that he's seated